Hi viewers, I'm Purple Celery. Welcome back to my channel. Here we are at the halfway mark of Doctor Who Flux. And in this week's video, I'm going to be reviewing Chapter 3, Once Upon Time. Let me just say at the outset that I am a sucker for a nifty, quirky Doctor Who episode title. Once Upon a Time made me think of, I don't know, fairy tales and something whimsical. Sometimes an episode of Doctor Who lives up to its title. For example, It Takes You Away. Other times it misses the mark for me, such as Knock Knock. So the question is, does Once Upon Time live up to its title? For me, it was partly yes, partly no. Once again, there was a lot going on in this episode. There were a lot of different plots to keep track of. Obviously, after the Doctor jumps into the time storm, pulling Yaz, Dan and Vinder in with her, the story kind of like splits up into 4 separate plots as they all get, I guess, ensconced in their past, present and future memories. And then we also have another 5th storyline with the young woman Belle, who's fleeing from a destroyed planet and battling Cybermen. And all of these scenes are also intercut where the Doctor is trapped in the time storm talking to the Maury. So as with the first episode of Doctor Who Flux, the story did jump around a lot from scene to scene to scene to scene. However, on this occasion, I'm willing to give it a bit of a pass because I think that was kind of the whole point. I think that we, as the viewer, were meant to be a bit confused, a bit discombobulated, and I think that was meant to mirror the feelings felt by Dan, Yaz and Vinder as they jumped from memory to memory. However, it does make me question whether a casual viewer or a younger viewer would have really got much out of this episode. I feel like this episode was really just one for the fans. Again, there were also 1 or 2 plot holes in this episode. For example, how did the Cybermen get onto Belle's spaceship? I mean, she was literally flying around in outer space. Like, did they teleport in or something? I feel like that wasn't really explained, or if it was, it just went by way too quickly and I totally missed it. So I would like to know the answer to that question. I also had a slight quibble, I guess, with the ending of this episode. For me, a really satisfying ending to Doctor Who occurs when the Doctor or one of the Doctor's companions does something brave or clever at the last moment to save the day. In this case, the Doctor kind of saved the day at the start of the episode by jumping into the time storm, because that triggered the chain of events that led to her and the others escaping from the underground temple. I can't recall the name just now. But essentially what the Doctor did for most of this episode was just relive a past memory that she had back when she was the Ruth Doctor, or the fugitive Doctor, if you will. So I feel like she didn't really do anything over and above what she'd done back then as the Ruth Doctor, if that makes any sense. But I'm not going to be a negative Nelly for the entire review. There were lots of things that I did like about this episode. For example, the Ruth Doctor. She was brilliant as always. I really enjoy her Doctor so much. This does raise the question though of where her Doctor fits into the Doctor's timeline. Clearly in this episode she seemed to be working for the Division, which implies that she was a pre-Hartnell Doctor. But that doesn't explain why she had a TARDIS in Fugitive of the Jadoon last series. I mean, like, maybe she sort of fits in somehow between Doctors 2 and 3, like the Troughton and the Pertwee Doctors. But clearly she is a past version of the Doctor, not a future version of the Doctor. Either way, I really hope that we do see more of the Ruth Doctor in Flux. I also like the scene with the older grey-haired lady at the end. I was really intrigued as to where she fits into the picture as well. From the things that she was saying, she was implying that the Doctor had something to do with the Flux, or the Flux had something to do with the Doctor, and also that the Flux wasn't a natural phenomenon. Somebody or something had created the Flux. I'm wondering if it was the Doctor herself, or maybe the Flux was created to stop the Doctor from doing something for whatever reason. And of course, I'm really curious as to who the grey-haired lady is. Maybe she's like a future incarnation of the Doctor. That'd be quite interesting. I also would like to know where exactly they were. We didn't really get much of a look at that scene. It was done in close-ups. There were kind of like pink glowy things in the background. I don't know, maybe they were in some sort of like a laboratory or something. But yeah, that was quite an intriguing scene. I also enjoyed the scene with Yaz playing the video game and the weeping angel turned up. That was really scary. It was also good to see Dan get a bit more character development. It was good to find out more about his background, that he was nearly married 15 years ago. I wonder whether Dan being almost jilted at the altar was sort of like a trigger for the way that he lives now, you know, living in like a unit, forgoing basic food, not really looking after himself. I also just want to talk about Vinder quickly as well. I like his character a lot, but he's featured so prominently so far in Flux that I kind of feel like Jacob Anderson, the actor, should have been given more of like a prominent billing. I mean, maybe they should have actually introduced him as a proper companion. I also liked the Doctor in this episode. She was getting a little bit testy with the others at certain points, especially Yaz. For example, in the scene towards the end where she tells Yaz, does everything have to be a discussion? It was kind of a bit harsh, but at the same time, it rang quite true because I can totally imagine her Doctor doing something like that. Overall, I feel like this is one of the weirdest episodes of Doctor Who that I have ever seen, and being Doctor Who, that's saying something. I feel like if I was a non-fan, like a casual viewer, I'd probably be giving this like a 1 or 2 out of 10, purely out of sheer confusion. Luckily, however, I am a Doctor Who fan, and for that reason, I'm more inclined to give this maybe a 6.5, 7 out of 10. I admire this episode for its ambition. I think that there were some clever ideas thrown in there, but once again, I feel like it was just trying to do a little bit too much. Anyway, these are just my thoughts as always. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave your comments in the comments section below. Please give this video a like if you've enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll be back next week to review Chapter 4, Village of the Angels. I love the Weeping Angels, so I am quite excited about this one. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll see everyone next time. Thank you so much for watching.